This is Brother Tim, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Gye-nyame Journey. Now, it's not Freestyle Friday, it's actually Thursday, and I am hyped. This is my first Gye-nyame Journey of 2014, and be sure to tune in with me on my Freestyle Fridays. I'm trying to get out tomorrow. I haven't decided on what the show is going to be on tomorrow, but I know what the show is about tonight. The show tonight that we are talking about right now, I'm calling it the Year of the Hashtag. Now, the hashtag, I'm just now coming into awareness of how to use some of this internet stuff, and some of the stuff is starting to make sense to me, because I'm from an older generation, and I started looking and I started seeing all these hashtags, and then maybe about 7 years ago, a brother by the name of Gabron Riviera introduced me to the concept of emergence, and he talked about using Twitter and putting hashtags on terms that we use on Twitter and being able to look at the information that came up under the hashtag and wait for something to emerge, because emergence don't come out of an orderly system. It don't look like it's orderly, but when emergence happens, emergence springs up out of sometime what we might view as confusion, and a good idea will come out and form from that confusion. Something that you accomplish, something that you're building will rise up out of confusion if you have it marked off so that you could be able to find what you're looking for. Now, this is what I'm trying to say. He told me, or what I learned from looking at the hashtags and reflecting back on what the brother taught me about hashtags, is that hashtags is a form of marking your territory, marking your ideas, and then waiting for them to come back to roost and see what they bring with them. Now, those of you that's been following me know that I learn a lot when I'm walking my dog. My dog is old and he struggles when he walks, so I have to show a lot of patience when I'm walking my dog. But for the last 16 years, I have watched my dog try to stop and pee on every tree, every rock, every fire hydrant, every loose bush that he could find. And I had to do some research on that, and I found out that dogs mark their territory by peeing. And then I started finding out that bears mark their territories, and dolphins mark their territories, and birds mark their territories. And I started wondering, after I really started thinking about this hashtag thing, do humans mark their territory? Have we given up marking our territory? Now, first off, let's get into this concept of territory. Now, territory doesn't necessarily mean it has to just be something physical. It could be something mental, it could be something emotional, it could be something spiritual. But are we marking our territory? Are you marking your territory? So I'm starting to do my podcast and I'm throwing a hashtag on it because I am marking the territory of 2014 and beyond with my image. I'm putting my hashtag on everything. I'm marking everything like my dog. I'm not necessarily peeing on bushes and rocks, but I'm hashtagging on everything. When my dog go outside and he's doing that, he's putting his hashtag down. And this is the challenge for those of you that's on the journey. It's time for you to start leaving your hashtag. You have to start marking your mental territory. You have to start marking your emotional territory. You got to start marking your physical territory. And the way that I'm promoting doing it now is let's start marking our territory on the internet. Now, I'm a nation builder, and there's certain lessons that I had to learn. And one of the most important lessons that I had to learn as a nation builder is that when you look at the definition of a nation is a stable, historically developed community of people with territory, economic life, distinctive culture, language in common. And for the first 15 years of my nation building career, I was busy trying worrying about establishing territory and developing an economic life, not realizing that the last two are the most important. Let me say that again. I was so busy trying to mark the physical territory, find the physical territory, and develop the economic life, that I have missed that in order to have those two, I had to have the last two in line at first. I had to have the language in common with my tribe, and I had to have the distinctive culture. What that got to do with marking your territory? When we start talking about territory, we got to move beyond just the physical realm or the physical idea of territory. We have to move into a spiritual concept of territory. We got to move into a mental concept of territory, because territory no longer is just limited to the house that you have or limited to the amount of trees that you own. The territory can be mental territory. Now let me give you an example of some of my mental territory. Some of my mental territory is gye-nyame.com. gye-nyame.com is my territory. That's my mental territory. I put mental work in it. That is mine. Now my question to you is, what territory have you been marking? What territory have you been outlining? Because if you're going to take over in 2014 with me, if you're going to walk this journey with me in 2014, you got to start marking your territory. So one of the things I'm asking all the people that's listening to me, that's meditating with me, that's running with me, that's tuning into my podcast, that's reading my writing, and I'm reading their writing. And if they got podcasts, I'm listening to them. And if they're running, I'm trying to run with them. If they're meditating, I'm trying to meditate with them. What I'm asking you to do is, when you hear something that you like on my station, send out the hashtag that I sent down and throw your own comment on there. And then on top of that, follow it up with a hashtag and watch me come right behind you and put your hashtag down there too. Because my thing is, we got to start marking our territory. If we want to be great, we got to start marking our territory. If you want to be a king or a queen, if you want to rise to the level that I know you are capable of, start marking your territory. Stop being scared. Stop hiding your gifts stop hiding your light up under a bushel. It's your time. My baby about to come in the room and she gonna break up the whole thing. So I'm gonna end it on this note. So I pray that your evening, your day, your afternoon is as beautiful as you are. And with that, Brother Hartim says peace.